Alright guys, and welcome back to Little One Gaming Channel. Today we have what is a season review of our first season with Alfa Romeo. It's been an interesting one for sure, but what you'll all be confused by is why it's not Saudi Arabia. Well, what we've decided to do is with this one, it's not going to be a season review every episode. What I'm actually going to end up doing is probably do the first race of next season, then probably Hungary or Belgium, either way, either side of the mid-season break, and then Abu Dhabi, and that will be the pattern. And we'll also go through obviously what's happened in between in those, because there's a lot of stuff to fit in, and to not show you any races just seems a bit poor really, and that is what this episode is. There is no race in this episode, unfortunately. We've just gone through the whole season, and there's been a lot of movement, a lot of changes have happened, and obviously whether it's been a disappointing, well, you can already see a remarkable season. It's been quite a good season for us. It's not been exceptional, but it's been a solid season. I am a little worried heading into 2023, but we'll go into that as well as we look through what happened in 2022. So first things first, we'll start off with maybe a little bit of the boring stuff, which is any staff changes that may have happened. There's only been the one in terms of staff changes. We've got the same race engineers. Whether we'll have them heading into 2023, I don't know. Probably not. I'm probably going to look to get rid of them and change them. We've still got the same head of aerodynamics, but we did bin off our technical chief, and we stole Simone Resta from Haas, who was, I think, was about 12 ratings higher than the guy we had. So it's a big improvement. But the big changes comes when we look at the driver lineup. So as you'll see, there are two changes, and one of them might be changing again. So Robert Kubica was removed as reserve driver. He was never going to be our full-time reserve driver, so we brought in a young Théo Pourchaire who's got that opportunity to improve, and with every practice he gets development points, or at least closer to him, and then you can just add him on and he's getting better and better. He starts 72, so he's only got at one rating, but it's decent enough. And the other one is Nick De Vries in for Guan Yu Zhao. Guan Yu Zhao was going through a period where he was basically spinning out whenever he was looking like he was going to have a decent race. And I kind of just flipped my lid and binned him off. Brought in Nick De Vries, and he did the exact goddamn same thing. So his contract is up at the end of this season. I am not renewing it. I'm going to look into who potentially I could bring in. Whether there's a big name out there, or maybe like a Daniel Ricciardo, someone like that I could possibly bring in, put alongside Valtteri Bottas. But if I can't, then there is that opportunity for me to make Théo Pourchaire our car number 2 and get another young driver in as the reserve driver, and that would be where we potentially go with that. In terms of the car, we're actually in a worse spot now than we were at the start of the season. We are struggling, if I'm honest with you. We've done a lot of practice and trying to, get the car to be perfect, but we have actually dropped off. We were quicker than Mercedes earlier in the season. We were very quick. Nowadays, I think we're slower than Mercedes. So obviously we're slower than Red Bull and Ferrari. I think we're slower than Mercedes. I think we've also dropped maybe just behind the Alpines as well. And I think Alfa Tauri and McLaren are basically with us now. I'm hoping that we'll be able to push on. I am going to look into possibly changing to the Red Bull powertrain, if that's possible at the end of the season. I think that might offer us a bit more power and give us a bit more of an opportunity to really push up the grid. Obviously, Valtteri Bottas is the big question. He's going to be here next season. That's definite. Will he be here going into 2024 is then the question I need to ask myself, because he's a really good driver. He's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But, I've got to think I like having a young driver lineup, and I think that is where maybe we're going to start looking at, if I'm honest. And hopefully with an improved car, because as you can see, when it comes to like low speed and dirty air cornering, we're terrible. We're basically terrible running behind other cars. That's what it is. We're terrible running behind other cars. So yeah, we've got a lot of improvements to make over the winter break, and hopefully we can get into 2023 with a decent car. And there we have it. The drivers' champion for the 2022 season was Charles Leclerc, 26 points ahead of Max Verstappen in the end. Sergio Perez was third and Carlos Sainz was fourth. Valtteri Bottas, there we go, in fifth place. He had a very good season, in all fairness to him. He was a top point scorer for us, and I won't lie, he had a couple of race victories thanks to safety cars and virtual safety cars and all that kind of jazz. Guan Yu Zhao actually had a very good start to the season. He managed to accumulate 75 points, but then he just tailed off. Just mistake after mistake, so we got rid of him. Whether he'll get a seat for 2023, I don't know, obviously. Nick De Vries, when he came in, just the 26 points. Again, one of those where there were a couple of times where they had to come through the field, and he was doing really well. He'd get from like 20th up to 11th, and then he'd spin. And it's just like you've literally just undone all your hard work. So, thankfully, I'll hopefully get a driver who's a bit more consistent in that regard. And in the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull actually won it ahead of Ferrari, and we sat in third place. And in the end, it was actually clinging on because of how poor our car was at the back end of that season. Mercedes really did close, and they had a terrible start to the season to be Mercedes. And George Russell was not, did not have a very good season at all. And even Alpine started to close up, obviously, with 150 points, which was good for them. But all in all, you can't complain. You look at the car at the end of the season, you worry, but at the same time, we finished third in the Constructors, so we had a driver as fifth in the Drivers. You cannot argue with that. And Valtteri Bottas came up with victories in 2 races, I think. Spain was one where we actually got a 1-2, and that was very much thanks to, I think it was a safety car. We pitted both cars under the safety car, and then we were also doing a 1-stop while everyone else was doing a 2-stop, I believe. And yeah, it was enough to get us that victory. And the other victory, now this one's going to take some remembering. I can't remember. We did have another victory, but I can't tell you where it was, unfortunately. So all in all, that's your kind of update. We're going to skip on a little bit, and hopefully, here we go, I'll have some more upgrades completed. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we decide who our engine manufacturer will be for next season. It's going to department upgrade complete. So we're basically upgrading everything. We're trying to make this team as good as it can be. Here we go, research complete for the rear wing. I don't know whether we can start actually building all this sort of stuff now. It's a new project. No, we can't. We've got to wait. We can research though. We can research. So if we go for research that, we've researched that. I think we've researched all of it, but we'll go again with suspension. Oh, we haven't got nothing left. That's a shame. There we go. End of season board. View the board, assess your performance. So Tigers was 5th, we finished 3rd. Score podiums in 25% of this season's races. Current progress. So we actually got 4 podiums out of 6. Tiger season 2024. So we've got to do that in 2 years, which is difficult to say the least. It's very difficult. So we're still classed as underdog, which is, yeah, I'll take that. Team bonus is 1.5 million, ball confidence high. Team rating is okay-ish. So are we now in the next season? End of season? No, we're not. End of season's here, I believe. So if we just skip through a little bit of this. There we go. So these are the regulation changes for 2023. So pole position actually gets a bonus point now. And in the last race of the season, it is double points. And then this is all, so there's a cost cap change. There's a smaller cost cap. And in terms of technical changes, there you go. A lot of changes. I actually voted against, one, the cost cap reduction. I voted against that. I voted against double points. And I voted against pole position bonus point. So I know, yeah, I didn't win anything last season at all. Staff changes. So he's here till 2024. So why is he coming up? If there are any gaps or current times, I've never been told about it. Yeah, he's got 2 years left. Driver changes. Right. So you're going. Should we have a look? Let's have a look together. Why not? So if we go drivers, I mean, I don't really want to scout. See, Albon is one that I could potentially go for. He's interested. Alexander Albon. The other guy that I've been looking at, we finished above him. Would he want to? Would he? No, but he still says that, but yeah. I'll sort it out, don't worry. Nick De Vries will be gone and I'll sort out a new driver. And I'll leave that as a surprise for the Bahrain Grand Prix next episode. What I just want to know is, when do I get to choose my... so we've got the simulator upgraded as well. Apparently, the end of the season is miles away. Facility upgrade coming in. I feel like this is just me now dwindling through rather than actually getting any potential chance to, So what I'll do is I'll leave it there, I think. Unless... New season regulations. We've already had that. Urgent car 2 vacancy. There we go, he's gone. He's gone. He has indeed gone. And I will leave it there then, because I want to deal with that off camera, and I want to leave that as a surprise for next episode, where we will have a race. It will be the Bahrain Grand Prix, and just so you know, if I get the opportunity to, I will be going essentially to Red Bull powertrains. I think Ferrari just not really backing us up. Sorry there's not been any racing action here, and it's just been me waffling on for a few minutes. But if you have enjoyed it, please do drop the video a like, give the channel a subscribe. Ready for the 2023 season, and I'll catch you guys later.